Okay. Um, so you have Ruth Bader Ginsburg. She was one of the second woman to actually be held in that high position, Supreme Court justice. She was actually appointed after Sandra O'Connor, and this is a prestigious position. It's actually, President Bill Clinton in that particular time in the '90s gave her that, recognized for her just pretty much her bravery in standing up for women's rights. You go back into our little history. On the age of 21, and she worked for the Social Security Administration in Oklahoma, and therefore, she was pregnant with Martin, and her husband was a tax attorney, and she was told she was demoted from that job because she ended up she was pregnant, and that was kind of crazy in a little bit. I mean, she couldn't really provide for herself, or she couldn't move up in the corporate ladder because she was a mother, and that was kind of discriminatory. And it was back in 1955 when she gave birth to her first daughter. So in 1956, she enrolled at Harvard Law School, where she was like one out of nine women, over 500 men in that program in the class. So the dean of the Harvard Law program, he ended up inviting all the female law students, right? Apparently to this dinner of his at his home, and he's kind of criticizing them, basically saying, like, trying to discourage them. Why are you deciding to pursue this type of major, and you're trying to take the place of men? And that growing up and looking at that, you're trying to do the best you can to pursue your passions, and you got the dean of Harvard Law. I mean, not even trying to encourage you, even though you're doing good academically. I can see how she want to gain inspiration to go ahead and just help out with women and give out gender equality. I mean, because that's it's kind of sad in a way. You don't want anyone to go through that. I mean, just because, oh, you're a woman or you're a man, no, you're incapable or incompetent to actually achieve these type of skills and provide for yourself and reach that American dream. So I thought that was really interesting when I read up on. But later on, her husband ended up taking a job in New York. So that's when she decided to transfer to Columbia Law School, and she actually finished like tied in place in one of her in her class for her academics. A very smart woman, very very debatable on the debate team, did a lot of good things. She was like one of the first women to actually be reviewed on the Harvard Law Review and the Columbia Law Review, and I'm looking at that like I was like, dang, that is really really great, man. I can see why she was just climbing on up there, man. Worked for the Department of Justice. You even had Jimmy Carter at a particular time in the 1980s. He appointed her to the U.S. Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia, and the District Court of Appeals is like one of the smallest jurisdictions as far as the federal appellate court. From 61 to 63, she was a research associate and associate director of Columbia Law School. She graduated, received her degree in 1959. She actually took on a project in Sweden for international procedure. So she led a Swedish with a co-author. I believe his name was Anders Brazilius in Sweden, and then she actually learned Swedish. And she was influenced on her thinking about gender equality when she had like 25 to 30% there. It was Swedish women, achieving, trying to become law students and go to law school and be a lawyer and everything. And I just thought that she was help writing a book and everything. She's talking about her experiences and what women had to go through in that particular time. Her first position was in Rutgers Law School in Jersey in '63. She was a professor there, but she was going to be paid less. She was told that to the administration that she was going to be paid less due to her from her male counterparts because she had a husband that was working. And all that stuff was building up. She was taking into account, like, okay, something has to change. I mean, it shouldn't be no reason that our pay scale should be going down because we as women, we're giving birth and we get into our natural order, taking care of the family, or we have kids. Like, I mean, you got pregnant women in law school. Like, we should have the ability to go out here and achieve. And I'm saying we should at least have equal pay. Not saying have more pay than men, but at least the same amount. So, and I kind of agree with her on that. So, and in '72, I think she co-founded the American Civil Liberties Union, participating in more than 300 general discriminations cases in '74. Man, she actually won like nearly all of them. Maybe she probably lost a few, but just really talking about sex discrimination and all this stuff that's going on. Actually, it was co-inspired into the 1970 to co-founded the Women's Rights Law Report. It was the first law journal in the U.S. that focused exclusively on women's rights. So, and later on, like I said, she was the Justice Supreme Court, a president by Bill Clinton in August 10th, 1993, till today, and she's no longer here. And I was just thinking about all that, man, because I was trying to figure out, like, she was on the liberal side, the liberal wing side. She was more for, pro, I mean, I don't know about homosexual marriage, but I know she was more like about abortion. And a lot of people, she was receiving a lot of criticism because of that. Because, like, listen, even though you was fighting very hard for, decades of women's rights, but at the same time, though, you really signing off and you in favor of abortion. So how can, these women that grow up, or how can in the fetus, or it was like supposed to be a woman or someone that's supposed to, a young lady supposed to be born into this earth, and you giving the option for the female to go ahead and give an abortion and kill the baby, so before he even gives life. And that's the huge criticism that was going on there. But I mean, because of her, her huge resume, just using her knowledge and her skills to go ahead and just make some changes and reaching the prestigious positions in the United States. I mean, she was looked off of, Republicans. A lot of, I think President Donald Trump even respected her. So I'm pretty sure she's going to have a nice giveaway and a legacy. It's going to be interesting who's going to take her place, though. But I just want to go ahead, just give my, condolences her to the family and everything. People have their little initial opinions and thoughts, but I just want to give out the factual information here, just out of respect. Ruth Bader Ginsburg, rest in peace. And I just think that, if maybe we can move on and just get rid of this immaturity, this cursive immaturity that's going on in the United States, like, racism and stuff that goes on here. The things that have been going on since like the past 200 some years, man. And it seems like we still talking about the same stuff. So are we progressing in this country, or are we regressing? I mean, talking about, the redlining things that goes on in the black community. People is going, ballistic crazy in some areas in downtown, forming armed militias, Antifa, the stuff that, that's, I seem like we still, tackling to this day. But it's good that you have individuals in history that stood up for what was going on and try to make a change. So that's all I really have to say, man. You guys can like, comment, subscribe, share this video. Tell me what you guys think about Ruth Ginsburg's legacy. Did she live a good one? Was she a woman of her word? It's just someone that she can look up to for young women. But that's all I have to say. You guys like, share. I'm out. Deuces.